Allowing those eyes to open. We're going to come to stand in the center of the pool. So you're standing until the water is about chest height. Moving into our Tadasana mountain pose. So feet are hip-width distance apart down underneath in the water. You're going to grip the ground with your feet. So you feel the four corners of your feet rooting down into the earth. The arch lifts up slightly away from the bottom of the pool. And from that foundation of the feet, we feel our thighs drawing energetically apart from each other. Belly is hugging in towards spine. Our palms are faced forward underneath the water, and the arms kind of shoot out towards almost like the base of a mountain shape. So they're kind of forming that triangle shape as we resemble the pose of a mountain, a Tadasana pose. From here, we reconnect with that Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And taking a moment to consider this yogic concept of rooting down to rise up. Now, in all of yoga, this is a required kind of physical cue we think about, because the more firmly we make contact with the foundation of our feet to the ground, and then the more that we engage the muscles that are supposed to stay stable through any particular pose, so the thighs drawing apart, belly pulling in, the more range of motion we'll be able to have because we have gravity helping us tether down into the ground. Now, in water yoga, that becomes an even more important physical cue because you no longer have as much assistance from gravity keeping you tethered down towards the ground. So you have to work a little bit more of that muscular exertion and control in order to stay balanced and upright. Now, taking that analogy one step further, are there any areas of your life where you could imagine rooting down a little bit more deeply, connecting more so with your foundation of the core of who you are, so that you feel a little bit more safety and freedom to fully express yourself, knowing that your basic core foundations are really strong. And here we'll start to add in some movement. So finding an inhale, arms sweep up towards the sky, drop the shoulders down away from the ears, and exhale, hands come together in front of heart. Good. Inhale, reaching fingertips up towards the sky, and then turning those palms away from you on the exhale as you slide the hands through the water, imagining as they move through the water that water is heavier than it is. Good. Inhale, we'll do that again, sweeping arms up. This time maybe taking your gaze, or in yoga we call that your drishti, up to the sky, unless that sky is bright and you're not wearing sunglasses. That's okay too. And we'll take hands to heart center, reaching back up on the inhale, and then exhale, gliding those hands back down towards the hips. Finding one more version of this breath. Hands come to heart center. And then this time when we reach up for the sky, we're going to leave those fingertips there. We'll spiral the pinkies in towards each other to open into the chest, and then sink the hips down into your imaginary chair. So we're in our chair, our Utkatasana pose. We can glance down and see the toes wiggling in the water underneath us. And you'll notice this feels a lot more accessible than if we were to do this on dry land. So kind of enjoy that. And because this feels pretty comfy to stay in, we're going to use this as our cat-cow position. So taking the hands down towards the water in front of us, we're going to graze the surface of the water with the backs of our arms as we take the chest forward and up, and then send the tailbone behind you towards the wall behind you. So you're arching the back. And then as you exhale, you'll curl that tailbone under, rounding through the spine, rounding into those arms like you're hugging a big beach ball, and take a look between your feet. Good. Every inhale then, we're going to open the chest up, looking up towards the sky, sending the tailbone further behind you towards the wall behind you, and then exhale, rounding. Let's do that one more time. We'll inhale, sweeping arms open. Exhale, rounding, taking a peek between those feet, and then we'll come back up to that Tadasana pose. Good. Now we're going to be moving into our warrior series. We're going to be holding this several breaths per movement, and then eventually transitioning to more of a flow. But we want to take these first several rounds to really connect with the nuances of these shapes as we add the surprise element of water. So from here, let's take the right leg behind us. Front knee is going to bend. The back toes are kind of turning out a little bit at a 45-degree angle, and we're going to lift the arms up for our warrior one position. So palms are facing in. We have super strong arms here, so we're shooting energy out through those fingertips, but we drop the inside of the trapezius muscle, the shoulders, the inside of the shoulders down away from the ears. Good. From here, we think about all of those nuances of rooting down to rise up. So we are rooting down through that front foot. We squeeze the heel of the front foot towards the arch of the back foot, as though you had like a little rug underneath you on the bottom of the pool that you could kind of scrunch up underneath you. So we're just actively drawing those thigh bones towards each other. We're pulling belly in so that the hips are right underneath the ribs, relaxing shoulders down. We're strong with the arms, and we find that Ujjayi breath. So deep inhales through the nose, deep exhales through the nose. Let's take another inhale here, please. And then on your exhale, you're going to take your warrior two arms. So you're going to take right fingertips back, left fingertips forward, please, as you take your warrior warrior two. So you're moving to the warrior two. You're opening belly and chest towards the wall beside you, but your gaze is going to come back over that front middle finger, your gaze or your drishti. So you steady that gaze. It's going to help with your sense of balance. We're drawing belly in towards spine. Now notice if that front knee started to cave in towards the midline. And if so, you're going to want to send it back open towards that left. Good. One more deep inhale here, please. Perfect. And then on your next exhale, you're going to take your front hand to the front thigh. Back palm rotates up. It's going to lift up towards the sky and then continue making that arc until the palm is facing towards the water. So we're in our extended side angle. We're going to spin. So we use the bottom hands now to spin away from that front thigh and lift the heart up towards the sky. So we're lifting over, but also up with that chest. Good. Noticing any sensation going on in that top shoulder, any tightness that you are now finding the freedom to release. Keep finding some deep, steady breaths here, please. Beautiful. One more inhale breath here, please. And then exhale, you're going to press up strong into your warrior two, just as a transition. From here, that back hand is going to travel through the water until it finds the back leg. That front hand lifts up to the sky and then back towards the water behind you for our reverse warrior. So you're really lifting up and away from the pelvic girdle. It's like you could try to get your chest or your heart to touch that blue sky above you and then start to lean back, so that we can really open in the low back, finding extension of the spine. Again, spiraling that heart up towards the sky. Good. Finding two more deep breaths here. And your exhale will return you to a warrior two position. This time the front leg straightens as well. So both legs are straight as you square the hips and shoulders off to the side of the pool beside you. Keep hinging forward from the waist. So you're reaching your fingertips as though you could reach the front edge of the pool. And then when you can't reach any further, you're going to take that bottom hand through the water and find the front thigh. The back hand reaches up and then all the way over for our Trikonasana triangle pose. You drop shoulder blade down away from the ear. This one's really important that we pull belly in towards spine to help us again connect with that sense of stability. And then from this triangle position, we're going to add a little bit of a core challenge here. So keeping the torso where it is, that bottom hand is going to lift away from the front thigh and then just shoot up at that diagonal. So both arms are reaching overhead, palms are facing in towards each other, feeling a little strength in the side of the waist here. Let's find another breath. And then you'll rebend that front knee as you take shoulders over hips, warrior two. Perfect. From here, we're moving into our goddess pose. So you're actually going to be facing now the side of the pool, and you're going to take that back heel, that right heel in a little bit so that the toes are wider than the heels, and the heels are already pretty wide as well. So I want you to take a quick peek down. You're moving the knees away from each other so that you can see the big toes on the inside of the knees. Good. From here, you're going to dip down even further with those knees. You're going to cactus those arms out to the sides of the shoulders, palms face forward. Inhale as you lower into your goddess pose, maybe submerging to about neck level in the water. And then exhale, you're going to straighten the arms and the legs for your 5-point star. So you're reaching out at those opposite diagonals. And let's do that 4 more times. We'll inhale, lowering down towards the earth. Exhale, rising up strong, growing really expansive here. Inhale, bend elbows, bend knees. Exhale, rise up into that 5-point star. Inhale, lowering down. Exhale, stretching out in opposite directions. We'll do 1 more just like that. Inhaling, lowering down. Exhale, rising up. And then from here, we're going to return to that warrior 1 position. So rebend that left knee, back leg comes straight. We're going to take the right toes in just a little bit. Arms reach up powerfully for that warrior 1 position. And then come take a giant step forward. We're going to meet in that Utkatasana chair pose. Good. So opening chest as you lift your gaze. Exhale and round. Inhale and open. Exhale and round. Let's do that 1 more time. Find a little bit more openness in our space or spaciousness in our spine this time. And we'll come all the way up to standing, this time moving in the opposite direction. So warrior 1, this time it's the left leg that steps behind you, the front right knee bends. We're going to rotate those shoulders and hips towards the front. So everything is squared off towards the front, shooting energy up through those fingertips. And again, coming into that rooted positioning with the feet. So we're pulling, we're not actually moving, but we're actively engaging so that we feel like that heel is kind of trying to drag through the ground towards that back arch of the back foot. Continuing to breathe, we pull belly in towards spine, send shoulders down along the back. And then we'll open up. So we're going to take the belly and the hips and the shoulders over towards the left side of the pool, but keep your gaze, your drishti over that front middle finger. Good. Feeling length from fingertip to fingertip, opening up in the chest and neck. Continuing that Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. Finding 2 more breaths just like this. You're doing great. And on your exhale breath, you're going to find your extended side angle. So front hand reaches for front thigh. You're going to reach the arms up, back arm up and over, spiraling that heart up to the sky. Finding length all the way in the side of the body. Perfect. And then use a giant strong exhale to lift up into your warrior 2. Just as a transition, that front hand rotates up towards the sky. The back hand reaches for the back leg as you lift up and back for your reverse warrior. Continue to breathe. Make sure you're still keeping a nice deep bend in that front knee. Rooting down to rise up. Finding 1 more in-breath here, please. And then on your exhale, you're going to press up into your warrior 2, straightening into that front leg now, reaching the arms forward, forward, forward for your triangle or trikonasana position. So both legs are straight, you're hinging forward, and then reaching the front hand to the inner edge of that front thigh, spiraling away from that thigh so that you can lift that heart. Back hand is reaching up and over, down towards the water. You should feel all sorts of things opening up here along the shoulder joint. Continuing to breathe, find length in that side body. And then we're going to go for that core challenge here by taking the bottom arm through the water. So palms are facing in towards each other. You're framing the ears with your biceps. Strong, strong core here, pulling belly in towards spine. And then a big exhale as you rebend that front knee. And then from here, it's going to be a giant step forward with the left foot. So again, finding our cat-cow. So taking the backs of the arms towards the surface of the water in front of you. We're in that chair pose, and these are bent. We're going to inhale, open the chest up and away. Exhale, round down, looking between the feet. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Taking 2 more just like this, please. Perfect. And then coming all the way up into our Tadasana mountain pose. Good. From here, we're going to be moving into our